Hello friends, welcome back to Edupedia Word Videos. Virtual Word Free Education. In this video, we'll be dealing with some questions on the formula derived about sum of different terms of a given arithmetic progression. Friends, we have derived that sum equals n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d, or n by 2 equal n by 2 into a plus l, where n is the number of terms, a is the first term, d is the common difference, and l is the last term. And l is nothing but an equals a plus n minus 1 into d. Friends, the only change in the interior part of this formula and here is, in this formula we have a, whereas in this formula it is 2a. It must be clear in mind while dealing with the questions. Now the first question says we have an AP with these terms 0.6, 1.7 and 2.8. We have to find the sum up to 100 terms. Since here the last term is not specified, therefore we can't use this formula. Instead, we'll be using this formula as s equals n by 2, 2a into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Here n is 100 as given here, a is 0.6 and d is a2 minus a1, say, which is 1.7 minus 0.6, which is 1.1. Thus s equals 100 over 2 into 2 into 0.6 plus 100 minus 1 into 1.1, which is nothing but 50 into 1.2 plus 99 into 1.1, which is 50 into 1.2 plus 108.9, because 99 into 11 is 99 over 990, which is 108.9. Thus we have over here as 50 and 108.9 plus 1.2, which is 110.1. The product of these two terms is 5505. Thus the required sum is 5505 or 5505. The second question says sum this series. Friends, here we have last term as 10 clearly predefined. The first term is 34, and we can also find the difference as a2 minus a1, which is 32 minus 34, which is minus 2. Let this term be the nth term of the given progression. Thus an is a plus n minus 1 into d, which is 10. A here is 34 and d is minus 2. We are letting this term as nth term just to find out the number of terms in this given arithmetic progression, that is, to find out what the value of n is. Thus, on simplifying this particular equation, we get, that is minus 24, or n minus 1 equals minus 24 over minus 2, which is 12. that is n minus 1 is 12, or n equals 13. Now n is 13, thus we can use this formula here because we know the last term as 10. Therefore s equals 13 over 2 a, which is 34, plus 10, or 13 over 2 into 44. 2 cancels 44 as 22, leaving the residue, and we are left with 22 into 13, which is 286. Thus the sum of given AP is 286. The third question says, it is a statement based question which says find sum of arithmetic progression with second and third term as 14 and 18 respectively. Friends, here nothing is mentioned about first term or the common difference. We have to calculate this before finding out the sum, or to find out the sum. The second term is 14 and the third term is 18. Thus the difference D is A3 minus A2, that is difference between consecutive terms is the common difference. So A3 minus A2 is 18 minus 14, which gives us 4, and thus the difference D is 4. Now A2, we know that An is A plus n minus 1 D. So if n is 2, then A2 will be A plus 2 minus 1 into D, that is A plus D. Thus A2 is given as 14. 14 is A plus D, or we can say 14 minus D equals A, or A is 14 minus 4, that is A is 10. Now we have to find out the sum of AP with second and third term as 14 and 18 respectively. Here one correction is needed. We have to find out sum of first 51 terms of the given AP. So now we can find out the sum as 51, say as n by 2 2a plus n minus 1 into D, because nothing has been mentioned about the last term, though we can find out the last term by using the formula a plus n minus 1 into D is an. But for simplifying the calculations or reducing the calculation, we'll be using this formula. Now n is 51, a we have derived or find out as 10, and D is 4. A is 10, so 2 into 10 is nothing but 20, and n minus 1, that is 51 minus 1, because we have to find out the sum of first 51 terms. So 51 minus 1, which is 50, into D, which is 4. So this becomes 20 plus 200, that is 220 into 51 over 2, which gives us 2 cancels this 220 as 110. We are left with 110 into 51. Now 51 into 11 is 51 over 510, that is 561. Thus the product will become 5610, which is the required answer. That is the sum of first 51 terms of the given AP is 5610. Let us move on to the second last question. The question says, a sum of rupees 700 is to be delivered as 7 cash prizes. It says we have rupees 700 and we have to deliver this 700 into 7 cash prizes. Each prize is rupees 20 less than the preceding. Say if this price is x, then this will be x minus 20, which is conveyed by this line. So let the first prize be, say, a, that is a1 is a, then second will be a minus 20, and the third will be a minus 20 minus 20, that is a minus 40. We have to find out the value of each prize. Since there are 7 prizes, we have to derive these prizes from this 700 sum given to us. Therefore, the sum of all these prizes collectively will be 700. That is S7, or simply S is 700. Now, the question says that each prize is 20 less than the preceding, which means we have a decreasing AP, that is D is negative and its value is 20. So we can write the given question as S equals n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into D, which is minus 20. Now S, the total sum is 100, 700, n, that is the number of terms. Since the cash prizes is to be distributed into 7 cash prizes to students, therefore n will be 7. And we know nothing about a, and again 7, so n minus 1 is 6 minus 20 into minus 20. So bringing this term to left hand side, we get 6 into 2 is 12, so negative of 120. 7 cancels this 700 by 100 as the residue, so 200 equals 2a minus 120, or 200 plus 120 equals 2a, because this 120 on bringing to left hand side becomes positive of 120, which gives us 320 equals 2a, or 320 over 2 is a, that is a equals, this on cancelling gives 160. Now if a is 160, then a2 will be 160 minus 20, that is 140, or a3 will be a minus 140, that is 160 minus 40, which is 120. Similarly, a4 will be a3 minus d, or a3 plus d, taking d as minus 20, that is 120 plus minus of 20, which gives us 100. a5 will be a4 plus d, that is 100 minus 20, which will be 80. a6 will be a5 plus d, that is 80 minus 20, which will be 60, and a7 similarly will be 40. This all in all, the cash prizes values are 160, 140, 120, 100, 80, 60, 40, and so on, as first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh value. So this was the question on cash prize distributing rupees 700 into different values. Let us move on to the last question of the sum of given terms of an AP. The question says 200 logs are there. Logs you can imagine as cylindrical pieces of wood, like this. These are 200 in numbers, that is n is the total, their total is 200, and they are arranged in as 20 in the lowest row. There is a row and we have arranged 20 in the lowest row. These numbers are 20. 19 in the second lowest row, 19 in the second lowest row. So here the number will be 19, and so on, which means above here we will be having 18, here we will be having 17 logs, and then 16, and so on. Now the question demands to find out how many rows are there. That is, this is the first row, this is the second row from the lowest or the bottom, this is third, fourth, fifth. We have to find out the number, this number n, and find the number in the topmost row. What is the value of logs or the number of logs present in the topmost row? Since first row contains 20, second row contains 90, we have to find out that what is the value of logs in the topmost. So clearly this is an AP, because there is a decrement of 1 on moving from bottom to top. Let this be the first term of the given AP, that is A, or A1 is 20. So second term is 19, third term is 18, fourth term is 17, and so on. Thus the D difference, common difference is nothing but minus of 1, because we have a decrement of minus 1 on moving from bottom to top. Let n be the last row, the number of the last row. So we have to find out n as well as an, that is the number of logs present at the last row or in the last row. Now the total logs are given as 200 in numbers. If 20 are present in the lowest row, then the left logs in all these rows will be 200 minus 20, that is 180. So the point here I want to make is that the total sum, that is Sn, where n is the last row, the number of the last row, is nothing but 200. Thus Sn is 200, which means the formula is n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. N is unknown, and a, the first term, is 20, so better we can write this as 40 plus n, which is again unknown, into d, which is minus 1. Thus the equation reduces to 200 equals n by 2, 40 plus, we can multiply this minus 1 with this bracket inside as minus n plus 1, because n into 1 is n, and negative will introduce a negative sign with n. Similarly, minus 1 into minus 1, the negative sign of both products to a positive sign. Bringing this 2 to left hand side, we get this 2 in the numerator, and product will become 400 equals n, 40 minus n plus 1, or 400 equals 40n, or better 41n, because 40 plus 1 is 41, minus n square. Bringing these two terms to left hand side and reducing right hand side to 0, we have n square minus 41n plus 400 equal to 0. Or we can break this minus 41 as minus 25n minus 16n plus 400 equal to 0. We'll be using factorization method for solving this quadratic equation, which is also discussed in the quadratic equation chapter. Thus, making n common, we have n minus 25. Bringing minus 16 common, we have n, and you will see that 16 into 25 is 400. So here we will be left with 25 equal to 0. Thus, n minus 25 when brought common from both the terms will give us n minus 16 here. Thus, either n minus 25 is 0 or n minus 16 is 0, or n equals 25 or n equals 16. Thus, there can be either 25 rows or 16 rows. The number of logs present at n equals 25 or 16 row can be found out by using a plus n minus 1 into d, where a was 20 and n as find out is 25, so 24 will be written over here and d is minus 1. Thus 20 minus 24, which gives us minus 4. Whereas for the second case we have a is 20 plus 16 minus 1, which is 15, into minus 1, which was d, because there was decrement of 1 log from bottom to top. So it is 20 minus 15, which is 5. Now this argument with n equals 25 says we have minus 4 logs at the topmost place. Friends, there can never be minus 4 or minus 3 articles at a particular point. So this is a contradictory statement. You can never have minus 4 pencils or minus 4 pens. But here it says we have 5 logs at the topmost row. So it is a little bit more realistic statement, and hence the number of rows are 16. Number of rows are 16, and we have 5, that is an was 5, so 5 logs or elements at the last row. So friends, these were some basic questions, including some statement based questions on some formula. Thanks friends for watching Edupedia word videos.